What about you? What
Well,
about,
I
you were at
am
the
a Tea Partier.
I was going to say, I saw you at the Tea Party.
I am. I'm the only candidate in the state that was actually an official sponsor of the Tea Party. You know, put my name up on it. I've worked with the Tea Party people, along with Kim Pine and others, organizing the Tea Party on Oahu.
So you're one of those people,
I'm one of those people. I'm one of those radicals that they talk
right.
about.
No, Tea Partiers aren't that radical. They just want fiscal accountability.
Well, you know what they want? They want freedom. That's
and
what.
freedom,
that's the whole
definitely.
thing that the Tea Party's about.
Yep.
And picking up on what Lynn said about limited government, people, it's like, but it's liberty. It's not just the taxes. They're getting the sense like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I should be left alone by the government to fulfill my own dream. The government, you know, keeping everyone, you know, orderly. But that's what the Tea Party's all about. Because remember, when those guys threw all the 3 tons of tea in Boston Harbor, it was because of the way the Brits were, you know, taxing tea and not letting them be free to do it as they want.
Without representation.
Taxation without representation. But the heart of it is liberty. That's what the heart of it's at. And so I have certainly, aside from being a sponsor, have been, you know, talking to all the people that have come, and it's true. It's a broad variety of people. I've been to Maui and talked to the people that were active there. On Kauai, talked to the people that were active in the Tea Party there, and talked to the Tea Party group on
well, Maui
in Kona.
seems like it's one of the best. Yeah, in terms
Well,
of spirit.
they had well, no, Kona, I tell you,
Yeah,
they've got a very strong
Yeah, I better watch
spirit.
out what I say.
They've got a strong spirit in Kona.
That's
oh
true.
Yeah, Bob Gowan's out there with the troops, coffee for the troops. Yeah, coffee for the troops.
So okay, give me your best pitch about what you'll do if you're elected.
Going back to why I believe that, you know, why I made that decision to run for lieutenant governor in the first place. With my legislative experience and with my leadership in the House, you know, it's about working with people and it's about bringing people to the table. And that's really, in order to win elections, to get your voice heard, you have to be able to bring people to the table. You have to be able to work even if you have differences. And that's my personality. That's the way I was raised. I was born and raised in Hawaii. It's about bringing people together. I believe, you know, in our family values. And these are the kinds of things that my vision of going out to every school within the next 2 years and making sure the same thing that I did when I was first elected. Visit every school in my district, talk with teachers, principals, the community, and parents. You know, when you're the governor, you have a vision, and the lieutenant governor for the longest time, you know, you're kind of a side office. Lynn Finnegan doesn't work that way. Lynn Finnegan makes something of wherever she's at. And I'm guessing that's what made me, you know, the representative that I am, as well as the House Minority Leader. So that's what I see. I vision for this office. Being able to work with those who are in the different branches of government, being a team player with the lieutenant governor, and making that office, the lieutenant governor's office, the conduit to the people.
So what were your top 3 issues be? Like, with this lieutenant governor has, you know, different things, education and, and all that. But what would your top 3 be, you think? I mean, what would your focus be?
My focus would be on, like I mentioned before, number 1, business environment. I've had quite a large coalition of business owners in support of my campaign, as well as charter schools and public schools in general, and, you know, speaking with them. And I believe that I've been the strongest advocate for charter schools, as well as education reform at the Capitol. So bringing those experiences of being a parent board member on our Voyager Charter School Board, and having, you know, that reach into the communities across the state, that's the vision that I want to see for the lieutenant governor. Often the governor's office has to concentrate on all of the fiscal stuff having to do with running departments. And as much as I have worked with the administration on all of these different issues, I believe that I could be the person that could reach out to, you know, the rest of Hawaii that may not have access to the Capitol, and go to their business doors as well as their school doors and make sure that their voices are heard.
Okay, Adrienne, what about you? If you were going to be lieutenant governor, what would you do? What was your main focus?
Well, my main focus is to talk to people about liberty and freedom and encouraging people to dream and how, because I think we're in a battle of ideas. It's not really people on the other side or whatever, because everybody wants what's the best thing for their family. And I don't disagree with Lynn about what a lieutenant governor can do. Obviously, the lieutenant governor supports the governor and the governor's programs. And I share those ideas and thoughts that he has. But I come from a different point of view. I come from 40 years of experience of working with people from a broad spectrum of our community, from outside of government, so to speak. Even though I've worked in government and have been at the legislature with very different groups. But I've been 40 years working out in the community, sort of grassroots, dealing with people that are charged with crime, people that are victims of crime, people that have drug problems, parents that don't know what they're going to do with their kids when they're on furlough Friday and their husband is playing around, dealt with people that have come, ambassadors that have come from outside the state and how they want to change things, people that want to bring different businesses and spread aloha to other parts of the world, and they want a connection on how to do that. So it's, I mean, that's what I think, that's what I bring. It's just coming at it from some government, but from new, different viewpoint, and I believe that that's what it's the strongest thing. It's very attractive to some people, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, we had Maisie Hirono who had, I remember I went to the press conference where they had slice, waste, and tape. Do you remember that? With the big scissors, and then Lieutenant Governor had the drugs and the no drinking if you're a minor and so on. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if you, either one of you get a chance to do this, what you decide to do. All right, we're almost out of time now, so you have a minute to give me your final thoughts.
My final thoughts.
On, like, you know, on the race or whatever you want to talk about, yourself or anything.
Okay. I think we're at a crucial time for Republicans in the state of Hawaii and independents. We've just seen, you know, Charles DeJoux. He's just been elected as our next congressman for the state of Hawaii. And what it takes to move Hawaii as a state to a more prosperous future, to a future where we can say, yes, this is where we want our kids to grow up. We have to do real change. We have to enact real change. I believe that I can be that person to enact real change. It's about standing up, being bold, standing up for what you believe in, being respectful of culture, of being respectful of people who have different values than your own. But it's also working in partnership with other people. And, you know, I believe that I've been gifted in that way of being able to work with all kinds of people and being able to bring them in. And ultimately, for Republicans, that's what we need to do. We have to be able to relate to the people who are struggling. We have to be able to relate to people who are struggling with business or taxes or all of these other things. And you know, many people have asked me, Lynn, why don't you run? Why don't you run for higher office?
Yeah.
Ultimately, it was myself, my decision that I had to make, as well as my husband's decision and my kids, and full support of all of my, you know, all of my family. I'm really looking forward to this.
Okay, so I'm going to give Adrienne time, but what's your website?
My website is www.lynnfinnegan.com.
Okay, final thoughts.
Well, as I said, I believe that freedom and liberty and changing people's attitudes and ideas about things are what I offer. As I said, I've been 40 years working in the community with all different types of people from varying viewpoints and bringing them together and solving problems. I'm a problem solver, not just a talker, but a problem solver and a professional listener. And that's what I do best, and that's what I've been doing my whole life, is solving problems from people from all walks of life. Not just out in the community, but also at the legislature.
Okay, what's your website?
And my website is adriennesking.com.
All right, well, this has been News Behind the News. I know the time flies by when we have fun, but like this, but hopefully you'll be on the show again. Yeah. Thank you for joining us today, and make sure you check out their websites and vote smart. Not often, but smart. Aloha.